Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Theta. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Taking a look at the daily chart, we have corrected approximately 70% from the March high. We were making videos on Theta throughout the bear market and this impulsive move to the upside. Full disclosure, I do own Theta coins and I believe my average is somewhere around 60 to 70 cents. My patrons were getting all of the trade alerts back when we were dollar cost averaging. Now, what is happening right now? As you can see, we have a very nice uptrend. So we are printing higher highs and higher lows, and this is very good. Now, what we need to do is we need to hold this low. This is the January 2024 low. As long as we don't go below it, we should be good for continuation. However, if we are going to be losing this level, that might be a sign that we're going to be dropping even lower. Worst case scenario, retest of the October 2023 lows. Some altcoins have already gone down to their October 2023 lows. Is that a possibility? Of course, Bitcoin could continue crashing, and if it decides to drop down to the 20 EMA on the monthly chart, then altcoins will have a very, very bad time for a few months probably. Now, we did drop below the August 2022 high, which I hoped that we would hold that level as support. Unfortunately, we did not. We ended up breaking below it. So we had a very strong impulsive move above it though. We even back tested it as support briefly, but then we ended up printing a lower high and we dropped. But this is a short-term downtrend here until we see a reversal. And like I said, January 2024 lows, that low is very important for us to hold. If we take a look at the daily RSI, you can see we are very, very low here. And in terms of the index, very close to the oversold. The last time we were this oversold was back in May 2023, June 2023, and right over here in August 2023. And those historically, looking at the chart, those were really good buying opportunities. Those were essentially your bottoms. And we printed a nice bullish divergence there. We also have a bullish divergence over here. If we zoom into the price action chart and we take a look at the RSI, you can see that the RSI is printing a higher low while the price action is printing a lower low. Now, this is considered a bullish divergence on the daily chart. This could have just a brief effect for us, nothing major, a maybe relief rally back to, let's say, $1.60, maybe $1.72, but that's at best. I wouldn't expect a massive recovery from Theta unless the markets allow us to do that, which means the entire altcoin market should be pumping and then Theta will follow along. Let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. Taking a look at the weekly, Theta is doing a lot better than a lot of the other altcoins that we have that are still sitting even below the October 2023 lows. But Theta has been performing extremely well. We did drop below the 55 EMA, unfortunately, on the weekly chart. So we're going to hope we can come back above that real soon. And we can hope that we're not going to get the bearish cross because that's not going to be a very good indicator. It's not going to mean it's actually going into a proper bear market, because Bitcoin is not going into a bear market yet. However, for this specific altcoin, this could mean just short-term downtrend on the weekly chart. We can also identify this level over here. Let me just set up this fib. There we go. So $1.20, which is the 0.236. That is going to be a very important fib to hold for us, as this is our previous resistance level. Throughout 2022 and 2023, we have been rejected from that level as resistance, and then we finally broke above it in 2024, and now we're coming back down to retest it as support. And the fib is set up from the bottom here in October 2023 to the all-time high in April 2021. We almost got to the golden ratio there at $3.94 or 97 cents. That was our target in the previous video. We were talking about potential $4, but we only got as high as $3.77. A massive rejection here in April 2022 that sent us into this downward spiral. So that is a very, very important point for us. As you can see, this was our support over here, then resistance over here, and we got rejected from the same area. Now, what ends up happening is that a lot of people piled in over here, and as soon as we got back to those same prices, they decided to sell to break even. That's why there's a lot of selling pressure there. If we take a look at the weekly RSI, you can see that we dropped below the blue support block that was there in the middle. And we're also approaching this red block below us. This is going to be your maximum opportunity, as every time we came back down to that area, you had a move to the upside. So historically and mathematically speaking, you have a really good chance of making money if you get into Theta once we enter this red block between 35.7 down to 31.9 on the RSI. So just eyeball those levels. And in terms of buying right now at this very moment, I would say this is a good time to be entering, especially if you don't have any Theta tokens and you're looking to buy into the project. We're 70% down from the local top. This is definitely a good buying opportunity. Not as good, obviously, as the October 2023 lows, but don't be greedy. Don't expect these lows to be met just because you missed out on them. There's a good chance we're not going to be coming back down to those lows, only if Bitcoin decides to crash even further down, like I said. But you can't really bet too much on those unlikely scenarios. Therefore, you can start investing right now, dollar cost averaging right now. Obviously, don't go all in. And then if it goes even lower, you can always buy more. Not financial advice. This is just, strictly my opinion on what I would be doing with Theta. Since I have a nice bag already, I'm not going to be getting any more tokens. In the long term, we're looking at obviously $4 as our first major resistance. Then we have $6.70. Then we have the all-time high. And then we're looking at $20 to $30 during the bull market peak. That is what I think. Now, if you disagree, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if it's going to be higher or lower. But the market cap of Theta would be sitting at $20 to $30 billion if we get to $20 to $30, as the total supply is 1 billion tokens. And we're 1,031% away from the all-time high price at $16 there. So it's doable. Getting back to the all-time high is definitely something that we're going to do, in my opinion, in this bull market. However, $30 may be a little bit too much. We'll see how bullish Theta gets. But I think $20 is a pretty conservative expectation if we're going to assume the all-time high is going to be broken. And then if you want to be a bit more risky-frisky, you can take a look at $30, okay? Now, the stochastic is in the oversold. And the last time we were this low was back here in May 2023. So just take a look at where that lines up with the price action chart. Just about here. The June 2023 low, yes, then we did go slightly lower, but we did print a bullish divergence with the stochastic, and from there it was an uptrend. Impressive uptrend. So see if you like your chances getting into Theta at these levels. The stochastic is definitely at a good buying level. I quickly want to switch over to the monthly chart just to see what this looks like. So the monthly didn't really get overbought on the RSI. The stochastic, it did briefly get into the overbought zone. Let's see what's happening with our EMAs. Okay, so the 55 EMA is sitting at $1.53. As long as we close above the 55 EMA on the monthly, that's going to be a really, really good sign. Because there's a lot of buying pressure below. As you can see, we're sitting essentially at the July/August 2022 high based on the monthly chart, because we're looking at the monthly candle closes, but the wicks there, you can ignore the wicks for the monthly chart. Now on the weekly, it's a bit of a different scenario, but on the monthly, on a bigger time frame, this is where the important stuff happens. So the monthly chart is looking pretty healthy. You know, we could be on the monthly chart, we could be starting our or finishing our wave 2 here. Then we're looking at a massive wave 3, which is usually the biggest wave of the Elliott wave structure, then wave 4 corrective, and then wave 5, potentially taking us to $30. That looks like a pretty good scenario. Obviously, that's the bullish outcome. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. But of course, don't get emotionally attached to any project really, because it's never gonna end well for you in that case. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.